And we're back with another fun and exciting episode of On the Clock. This week, I've got Rob Kilfoyle from Humber College joining us. Rob, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
How has the role of your officers changed because of COVID-19? Because it feels like everyone's role kind of has shifted.
Certainly the core security functions being performed on campus haven't really changed that much. But one of the things that we are doing, and a lot of the universities and colleges are doing the same, is we're being required to screen individuals as they arrive on campus. And so that's really been a significant change for us, is that, we now have sort of positive access control at each, at certain locations on campus. And normally campus environments are largely open and unrestricted. And so now we've had to go to a more tighter, restrictive type environment where we're checking individuals as they arrive on campus to make sure that they've completed the self-screening process. And if not, then we have to walk them through the various public health questions. So that's changed. Another thing, like so in the Christmas closure or the holiday closure we had international students needed the ability to contact someone at Humber College 24/7. And we just aren't regularly set up for that. So Humber's public safety department sort of filled that gap. Because we run a 24/7 security operations center, we became sort of a first point of contact for international students. We had students phoning us from all over the world, looking for help and direction on how to, what they require to do to come to campus and that kind of thing. And so we would point them to different resources. And then if anyone had an emergency, we would then activate our plans, and, we could put them in contact with someone who could help them more directly. So that's a few of the changes we've had to do.
What would you say have really been some of the biggest lessons earned and learned from working during this time?
One of the biggest lessons learned is that what we once thought as being inconceivable, and that is, a business disruption lasting for more than a year, is complete reality. And so we really have to change the way we change our assumptions in our planning, and also we have to adopt that into our existing plans. So that's one of the big changes or big learners. Another one is that I value the relationship with our service providers, and we have, while it's always been important to me, at least, I think it's got to be, a top of mind for people to have those really good built business relationships with their vendors and their suppliers, because during a crisis, you come to rely on those same vendors, and without those personal relationships in place, you might struggle a little bit. And so while I haven't had that issue at Humber, I've heard from some colleagues, that it hasn't been all roses for them. So that's the second one, is, having strong relationships. And then the third thing is really something, I'm reflecting on leadership, and, team building and leadership and communications continue to be vital. And I think, it's important as a leader to recognize that doing those things virtually is different. And you have to be more intentional about maintaining those things and keeping your team engaged. It's easy for people, I think, to become to lose focus or to become siloed when they're not on campus, or they're not, in their regular work environment. And so, as a leader, one of the big changes is that I've had to be very intentional about, keeping my people motivated, engaged, and, working for the benefit of students.
Rob, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. As a Humber alumni, it's always great for me to talk to the Humber community, and I especially am happy to hear that Humber is doing everything it can possibly do to protect its students and faculty.
Yeah, well, that's my pleasure, and I, thank you for having me on, and I wish everyone the greatest of luck as we progress through this thing, and hopefully we can get back to regular operations soon.